Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. It's been a minute. I'm on my phone. What's good? What's good? Shout out to everybody in Cincinnati watching the Reds play all weekend. Hell yeah. Shout out to you. It's baseball season, right? Nice. Man, what's good? What's good? What's been going on? What's been going on? Raider Menace, first one in the building, as always. Appreciate y'all. Yo, man, so it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Had some family shit to go through. Still out here in Arizona. It is hot. As you can see, the pool's behind me. Probably should be getting in there real quick, like. But man, Geno Smith still not signed. It's been a week. I ain't been talking no Raider shit, no football. And still no signing, right? I said earlier in the month that, man, it was going to take a minute, right? I think they were waiting to see where Russell Wilson landed, you know, a Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champ. Then you also have Aaron Rodgers in the mix, you know, Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ. If these guys are signing to some crazy, Jason, what's good, what's good? You know, if these guys are signing for $10-20 million, I just don't see them justifying paying Geno Smith 40-45 mil. I mean, let me know what y'all think. You know, could that be the holdup? Which I think it is. You know, I can't ever remember in 49 years where there's been a press conference or no press conference, you know, for our star quarterback, our starting quarterback, you know, the savior of the next 3 years. What's good? What's good, Austin? Appreciate you pulling up. And you know, to me, it just makes no sense. From what I hear, that he's not really happy with the guaranteed money, which I could see. I mean, come on though, 3 years. You had 3 good years out of what, 10 in the NFL. I just don't see justifying paying 45 mil a year. You know, the 31 mil, I'm down with that. But other than that, the bigger news: third down Renfrow in the building in Las Vegas. It kind of looks like I'm in Vegas. Man, this heat is horrible. What y'all think about Hunter Renfrow in the building? You know, he played, I believe, in Clemson with Christian Wilkins. They are very good friends. I believe Christian Wilkins was one of the main reasons, you know, why he wanted to come to this team, hyping up the Raiders, hyping up the organization, you know, hyping up the new facilities. So, to me, I'm all day with Hunter Renfrow. Third down Renfrow, you know, the explosiveness, the route running, the hands. Appreciate you. You know, I think it would mean a lot, especially to this receiving core. If you look at the receiving core, I mean, what do we have? Jacoby Myers, we have Trey Tucker, we have Ramel Keaton, who had like 3 snaps last year. So not a deep roster when it comes to receivers, but man, there are a lot of receivers in this draft that are sleepers, in my opinion. You know, when you got guys like Trey Harris falling to the second round, to me, that's wild. Jalen Higgins falling to the second round. Just, there's plenty of steals when it comes to wide receivers. So, you know, going out and go crazy, I don't know. We haven't gone crazy, right? A lot of people say we've been bargain picking, basement bargain picking, shopping at Dollar General for some of these guys. I'm going to have to disagree. I think Jeremy Chin is going to be hands down one of our best players, both sides of the ball. Like, this man is an absolute freak. And if you haven't seen his workout, oh my God, bro. This dude is crazy athletic. And I didn't know he ran in the 4.3s coming out of college. So, bro, we're building a team, right? We're building a team. We're building a franchise. Well, I know we're in win now mode. but we're building for the future. A lot of these guys that they're bringing in, one they just signed, a Devin White, guy has been to a Super Bowl, has won a Super Bowl. Arnie Gaza was good. Appreciate you pulling up. Ghost, my guy. Jason Runts. You know, Devin White probably didn't have his best year in Philly, making $4 million. The guy took his job making way less. Braum got a bag, so I don't hate the Devin White pickup. We're short on linebackers, and we have a roster to fill, right? I don't know what the number is because I'm not at the computer, so I don't have much shit in front of me. I'm just going off the top of my head. We have somewhere in the 40 million range, but we have 90 guys we have to put together before camp. Shout out Hawaiian Candy. What's good? Appreciate you. And I think we're sitting at 60 something, so maybe 70 by now. We did sign a couple new guys, and I'm a little bit behind, so I apologize for that. But we have still a long way to go. We only have 9 draft picks unless something crazy happens or we trade some guys, which I have a feeling coming up in the draft, there might be a couple, Raiders going to other teams. I have a feeling. With the new tight end signing, we don't need 4 tight ends in the building. What's my thoughts on Renfrow signing? Sign him. Sign him. He's a Raider, right? He's a Raider. He should have always been a Raider. He missed a year. The only knock I have on Renfrow is the fumbles. The last year, he couldn't hold on to the ball. And that's a problem. That's a problem in the NFL. And then also the concussion. I just don't think he was the same after that. But again, I just talked about, filling out the roster. So, you got to fill out a roster. You need receivers, right? Whether he makes the team, doesn't make the team. I don't see much, Jacoby Myers is probably the only one better on the roster right now as we speak than Hunter Renfrow. He's a damn good route runner. He has good hands. We have a mobile quarterback now that can move around and buy him time for his routes to develop. I think it's a good pickup. You put him on the roster. If he makes the team, he makes the team. If he doesn't, you move on. But at least give the man a chance, right? Furpo in the building. What's good? Rebel, did you get a chance to see Riley Leonard at the Notre Dame Pro? No, I have not. And that's going to be the first thing I do. Did he look good? Was he all right? I mean, I did see a little bit of Will Howard. And Will Howard's pro day compared to the combine was night and day, bro. Was totally different. So I like Will Howard. There's a lot of talk of him, going to the Raiders in the 3rd, but I like Riley Leonard a lot better. I think he's way more athletic. I'm gonna have to go check out his combine. Let me know what he ran. Did he run 40 times? Because a lot of people aren't running these drills, not even at their pro days. Ashton Jeanty, another one. I was kind of disappointed that he didn't do any of the drills, really. I wanted to see his explosiveness. High jump, long jump, 40 time, all that shit lets you know your get off, explosiveness. Killer was good. Appreciate you pulling up. Leonard will be great quarterback in the NFL. I know. I've been saying that for months, and people keep saying I don't know shit about football, but that kid's going to make somebody very happy. If you get him in the 4th round or 5th round, he's not a day 1 starter, but I guarantee you halfway through the season, if your quarterback is struggling, Riley Leonard's taking his job. Notre Dame is an Ivy League school. You don't get into Notre Dame being stupid, right? This kid has intelligence. He has an arm. It's not a rocket arm, right? It's not the strongest arm in the NFL. But I heard a coach named Pete Carroll say, you don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to have the strongest arm. You just got to know how to run a team. You got to know how to read defenses, right? You got to know where you can fit the ball, where you can't, when to run, when not to run. Riley Leonard has all that to me. And I'll be live on draft day, and you'll see me doing backflips and shit, probably into that pool. if we draft Riley Leonard, because I think that kid has a very, very bright future. He was damn good at Duke and Notre Dame. They let him throw the ball a little bit more at Duke. Notre Dame, I think, they held him back. They had a damn good running back. They relied on their defense, right? They had one of the top defenses in college football. They didn't ask him to do a lot except run the ball, which he ran the ball, I think, more than any, maybe Kyle McCord, but, he's a mobile quarterback, right? He can also stand in the pocket and kill you with his arm. So, like I said, I'd be tickled as hell if they got him. And he's underrated. You see all these ratings coming out. First he was, the sixth best. Now he's like fifth best, fourth best. It's up and down. But by the time the draft comes, a lot of these quarterbacks could move up, bro. Tyler Shook is another guy. Tyler Shook, there's talks of that dude, depending on how the draft falls. If it goes quarterback 1-2, somebody might grab, 3-4 in the first round. And that's a very big possibility. And if that happens, then you could definitely see Riley Leonard going, and Milroe probably going third round. What else we got? Rebel out of Jeanty, McMillan. It's not even a question, bro. It's not even. There's no question. It's Ashton Jeanty all the way. It's Ashton Jeanty all the way. And I know everybody's big on Mimbu, right? But if you watch my Central Arkansas boy against him in the Senior Bowl practices, dude got cooked, bro. He had him on skates. So, I don't know. We need a running back. We need a killer in the backfield. That's the way the NFL's going. And I've said that since last year when we lost Josh Jacobs. It was the wrong time to let Josh Jacobs walk when we let Josh Jacobs walk. It was bad. So, Saquon, the list goes on and on. Travis Henry goes, to another team, balls out. Running backs are back, bro. They're back. And this draft is stacked with them. But when you got guys signing for, $10, $12 million, that would have never happened last year or the year before. These guys would have been getting 4 or 5, right? So running back is a high commodity. And Ashton Jeanty is generational. I don't care. There's no way to say he's not generational. Now, I hear the Tedero McMillan is not generational, bro. There is nothing generational about that dude, except for he could, probably catch 70% of 50-50 balls. Other than that, I don't see generational at all. The quarterbacks, I don't see, Abdul Carter, they say is generational. How do we know? Just from his tape in college? To me, that's not enough. It's damn good tape, right? He's explosive on film. He played outside linebacker. He played end. Generational, I don't know about, man. I don't know about. Like, if you go back and watch Malcolm Kuntz tape, same bend, same explosiveness in college, didn't have the numbers, but Ashton Jeanty is different, bro. He's different. There's no way around it. You can't name a player in the last 20 years. You can't name a player ever that did what he did last year. You can't name a player in the history of the NFL that had more yards after contact than any running back in the collegiate level had total. That's generational. That's lifetime. It's never happened. Never happened. There's never been a time where a running back has had more yards after contact than any running back in the history, or than any running back in college football. And they want to talk about he can't catch. They didn't throw the ball to him. He ran the ball a lot. The year before last, he led college football in yards receiving out of the backfield. So the kid can do it all, bro. He can do it all. You could talk about his blocking. He's small, but I guarantee you he's going to light some of these big dudes coming up because he has, he's small. He's got leverage. When you got leverage on some of these guys, he just got to learn how to use it. His size, he's going to get, stronger, more powerful. I pick Ashton Jeanty all day. There's no question. Well, Rebel, I'm back to doing live, so I hope you have a good day. Appreciate you pulling up. What do you think about the quarterback from the Texans? The NFL Texans? You mean the one that was drafted second overall? You talking about CJ Stroud? I think CJ Stroud's got a long, long career. Like, I know he had the sophomore slump. He had a damn good rookie year. But Robert Penna, what's good, my brother? Appreciate you dropping in. How's it going? What's good? What's good with you? Oh shit! What the hell happened? Did I miss something? So I'll make sure I ain't miss shit. We had the worst rushing offense in the NFL. Our talent at running back room plus scheme sucked last year. Your thoughts on our offensive line? Here's the thing with Ashton Jeanty. You don't need a great offensive line. He didn't have one in Boise State. Now, everybody acts like he had the greatest line at Boise State. But two of those guys are seniors that decided to come back and play for another year that didn't even enter the draft when it's not a very stocked offensive line draft. So, to me, our offensive line is fine. And, you know, if they put in Alex Kappa that we brought in, which it sounds like he's the favorite to, you know, the front runner to get the job. But we all know you have to win the job, right? They're going to put the best man in. But if you watch the interview from our GM, Spytech, you know, great interview. A lot of insight about the draft, about, you know, the picks, about why we got Geno Smith. It all makes sense. You know, there's a connection with all these guys we're bringing in. They've all played with these coaches. They've all played with other players. You know, they've been around the general managers. They've been around Tom Brady. There's a connection with everybody we're bringing in. The price doesn't always matter, right? It's the character and the player. And I heard Spytech, you know, say a lot about character and player, but we'll get into that. So our offensive line is fine, bro. JPJ is a freak of nature, and he's just going to get better and better and better. If whoever we have at guard, you know, I thought Parham played very well. Now, he does need to pack on. That's the only knock I have on Parham. So we have guys that are going to compete for this job. You know, we still have Dalton Wagner that's still, you know, a damn good offensive lineman. The man is huge. He's huge. So 2 years, you know, hopefully he can learn, take that next step. But we have molars like Thayer Munford, depending on what we do with him. There's a lot of talk of, you know, possibly DJ Glaze moving on the inside and us going getting our starting tackle. A lot of people are talking about this Grant dude, which the man is definitely, you know, a big guy, but he's not bigger than DJ Glaze. He doesn't have NFL experience. And I heard Spytech talk about, you know, he likes to take tackles from small schools or from big schools and move them into guard for a year or two, you know, let them get acclimated to the NFL and shit. So I think our offensive line is going to be fine. We're going to be fine. If they didn't believe in the offensive line we have, they would have went out and made huge moves. And, you know, you could say that about a lot of positions. I think the coaching staff, the, you know, general managers, I think all these guys believe in this team, or we would have seen a lot more crazier moves. So I think we have the offensive line. You know, for Jeanty, he's gonna make holes for himself. He doesn't need a lot of holes. He doesn't need big holes. You know, he can get skinny. He can get through the hole. You know, he runs, you know, slow to the hole, fast through the hole. So I think we'll be fine. And a year in camp with a new offensive line. We still have, you know, Joe in the building, which once he took over the offensive line last year, they started to pick it up. I believe in this offensive line. I think they're going to be fine. CJ Stroud is going to be a beast as well. He had a killer rookie season. I agree. But if you look at his numbers, and I'm going to keep saying this until I'm blue in the face, Aiden O'Connell, bro. Aiden O'Connell got the same numbers as C.J. Stroud in 17-game period. Has them same numbers. Geno Smith, hold out if he doesn't get an extension. I don't know what the deal is. Like I said, I want to, feel like I know what it is. I really felt like it had to do with the quarterback situation. What Aaron Rodgers is going to get, what Russell Wilson got. I think that might be a problem. Like, I just don't see justifying paying Geno Smith with one good career, one good season, one good season. Because the last season, 4,000 yards was great. But you can have them 4,000 yards and keep your 24 or 21 turnovers to your 21 touchdowns. There is no team in the NFL that can win football games when your quarterback turns the ball over, whether it's interceptions or fumbles, as many times as he throws touchdowns. It's not it's not winnable. So I don't know. I'm still kind of out on the Geno's thing, and like he's got a lot to prove, bro. To me, got a lot to prove, especially if you pay him $45 million. You can't have 21, 24 turnovers, whatever it is, 15 interceptions and 6 fumbles. You can't win like that. Especially at $45 million a season, or 40 mil, or 30 mil. You think you're worth that with that season? I don't get it. I don't get where these quarterbacks are coming off acting like Raiders. That's right. These guys want way too much money, and I think it has to do with the 49ers quarterback also. What are they going to pay Brock Purdy? Is Brock Purdy going to get that 45 mil? Because I'll take Brock Purdy over Geno Smith any day of the week. And like it or not, call me crazy. Look at his numbers, bro. His turnover ratio is way better. His accuracy might not be up there. But when you talk about Geno Smith's 73% or 71%, quarterback completion ratio, who was he throwing the ball to? Tyler Lockett. Not many drops. DK Metcalf comes down with 90% of the balls you throw that are 50-50 balls. They turn into 90-10 balls with DK Metcalf. So, man, I hope it goes great. I hope it goes great with Geno. And if it doesn't, we got a backup. QBs know, teams need, right? Yeah, we need them. But do we really? Do we really need 21 touchdowns to 21 interceptions? Is that going to help? How much? Because if that was the case, I mean, shit, we could have stuck with Gardner Minshew. Right? Sorry. They need to get franchise players in their favor. Fuck, I should probably put on glasses so I can read this shit. Quarterbacks, no teams need them. If they get franchised, it plays into their favor. Oh, he's not getting franchised though. Do too much. Top quarterbacks getting paid. Hope you're getting better there, brother. Yeah, man, I'm good. It's rough, Just been hanging out with mom, hanging out with sis. About to go hang out with my little brother. It's his birthday today. So, yeah, but it's just different, Every time I come out to see the family, she was here, and now she's not. So, but it's good, man. But the Geno Smith thing, man, I don't know. I know he had his best years in Pete Carroll, and hopefully Pete Carroll could get, those 33 touchdowns with 8 interceptions, right? We'll take that all year, all day. But if he doesn't, there's that question that is Geno Smith, I watched a lot of tape. I watched a lot of the turnovers. And you can't blame the offensive line for a lot of those turnovers. Now, I believe that's why we brought in a quarterback coach like Greg Olson. Try to get the best out of Geno. He's got a better offensive coordinator, I believe, in Chip Kelly. They're going to take the pressure off him by drafting Ashton Jeanty. I think Geno will be fine, but the price, man, the price is going to put us in a hole. we could fill a lot of positions with that money. You know, $15 million or $10 million is a whole nother player, right? That's a whole nother Jeremy Chin. So I think we'll be all right, though. I think we'll be all right. I don't know what the holdout is, what the guaranteed money is. Again, I think we're just waiting for the market. Or maybe it has to do with the draft. You know, maybe the Raiders aren't willing to pay Geno this guarantee because they're going to get Shador. That's a very big possibility. You know, if Shador falls to you, I said it before, I'm not the biggest fan, but he's still a damn good quarterback. Probably better than Geno Smith. And to sit behind Geno for a year, a guy that, you know, you've been comped to over and over and over again, wouldn't be a bad idea. But if you're paying one guy $45 million, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. You can get a bridge quarterback like a Russell Wilson for $10 million. For $10 million, you could have got a Russell Wilson, a bridge quarterback. And another fact that you're going to bring in Geno Smith, right? He's going to take most of the reps. We have a quarterback that still needs to be developed, right? It shouldn't be. And if we draft a quarterback, you know, that guy should be taking most of the reps in practice, in my opinion. But that's not how it's going to be, right? It's probably going to be Geno, the number one guy, taking most of the reps. And if you're bringing in a bridge quarterback, you already know what that bridge quarterback's going to bring you, right? He can learn the offense. He can learn the playbook. He doesn't have to be out there, you know, 90% of the time, in my opinion. He should, you know, he's a veteran. These young kids, they need the snap. So I believe it should be Aiden out there, you know, taking first team reps, or whoever they draft. If they draft a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round, throw that kid in. Let him get as many reps as possible. But who else we got? Offensive line. You know, man, this draft is going to be crazy, bro. This draft is going to be crazy. That's all I know. I've seen so many trade possibilities. You know, Ashton Jeanty's mocked to us in every single draft. And to me, that means the Raiders probably won't take him, right? Have we ever taken anybody that's been mocked to us in every single draft? Never. I don't even think we take anybody that's been mocked to us in any of these drafts. So that could be another thing. What are you doing? You know, the fact that again, the fact that Geno hasn't signed says a lot. It says a lot. I know they brought him in to be with Pete Carroll. What is the problem, though? What is the big holdup? If it's Shador, that could be a problem, right? That could be a problem. Because then you got pressure on Geno Smith. And they talked about taking the pressure off the quarterback. You're not taking the pressure off of Geno Smith by drafting a guy in the 1st round. Or the 2nd round, right? You're putting way more pressure on that guy. So again, there's so many scenarios, man. There are so many scenarios. What if Travis Hunter's there at 6? What if he falls? I mean, the draft can go so many different ways right now. You don't know what Tennessee's talking about. They will trade for 3 first-round picks. Is there anybody in the NFL that really wants to trade 3 first-round picks for a Cam Ward? Are the Jets willing to do it? I wouldn't put it past them. The Cleveland Browns, I mean, damn. Somebody might bite on that and jump up to 1st. But if they don't, more than likely it's going to be Cam Ward. So if you go Cam Ward, then you're sitting there with Cleveland saying, what do you do? Do you take Travis Hunter? Do you take a guy in Abdul Carter just off his tape in college when he hasn't shown out at the combine? You know, hasn't done any drills. I know he's hurt. That's another issue. Do you take a Tyree Wilson, right? I'm not saying he's Tyree Wilson, but you don't know. You don't know. How long is it going to be for this man to heal? Does he have any training camp? You're going to draft a guy second overall or first overall that's not going to have any camp, and you're going to expect him to come in and produce like we did Tyree Wilson? That's not going to work, bro. That's not going to work. So, Abdul Carter could fall. Do you take him at 6 if you're the Raiders? There could be a very, very big possibility that he slides down to number 6. You know, a lot of these teams need offensive linemen. You got Membu, you got Campbell, you got Will Campbell, a corner. Will Johnson, a corner. There's a lot of teams that need corners. Does Jeanty even make it to us at number 6? I'm starting to think that's the big question. Look what Chicago Bears have done the last, 2 years in the draft, 3 years in the draft? Crazy shit, right? Traded up to the first round, ended up having another first round from the trade up. Why not take a shot and go get an Ashton Jeanty if that's your guy, right? The Chicago Bears, I believe, are one player away. Not from, playoffs, but one star player away. They got their quarterback. They got 1 million receivers. They just went crazy on the offensive line. Could you imagine the Bears getting Ashton Jeanty, moving up to get him at 3 or 4? I mean, that would be crazy. I like McMillan in a trade back. I'm not a McMillan fan. I'm not a Tetero fan. There's just something about that kid that screams Hayward Bay to me. And not his play. Not his play. It's not anywhere near. But I'm just saying, the speed thing, like taking him that high, I don't know. Trade back to the middle or the first and take best player available or strong. Bro, I'm 1,000% in taking best player available and trading back. Like, my first mock draft was Ashton Jeanty. Every other draft since then, all my mocks have been trade back. And it's for a reason, right? You have to trade back. Like, if your guy is not there, your number one guy on the board, it just makes sense. And we heard Spytek in his interview. Shit, my phone's gonna die. I did not fucking hold up. Maybe I can get on this one, son of a bitch. I was not prepared. Fuck, it's not gonna go to this one, son of a bitch. We heard Spytek in his latest interview, right? What the fuck was I saying? Shit. I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Best player available at 6. Oh, yeah. So we heard Spytek in his last interview, right? The main thing I got out of that was he said he loves his picks. And he has to convince Pete Carroll how much he loves his picks. Which tells me, if your man at the top, general manager, loves his picks, and you have a pick at 6, where a lot of people might be trying to move up to grab an Ashton Jeanty, or a Tetero McMillan, or a Mason Graham if he falls to 6, a Travis Hunter if he falls to 6. Bro, there's, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Have a good one. Stay blessed. If that dude falls to 6, there could be teams trying to move up to get him, right? If Mason Graham's there, that's a future piece for a lot of teams. Shit, like the Bills. Could the Bills move up that far? The Bengals need defensive line help bad. Could you move up that far? It puts a lot of question out there. So if that pick is valuable and people are calling, to me, you trade back. And the fact that our general manager said he loves his picks are valuable to him. says it all, right? If somebody's offering the right amount for that pick, we're trading back. I just don't see any other scenario. Um, Best player available is not rocket science. See, you can't always go best player available. I mean, it worked out last year with Brock Bowers. We had Michael Mayer. Now, Michael Mayer, had issues, maybe because he wasn't that number one guy, or because they went and drafted a guy in the first round. But he fell to us. He was best player available. That worked out great. That's not always going to work out great. If the best player available is a defensive end, I can't justify taking a defensive end this year at number 6. For one, he's not going to get the reps he needs. He's not going to get the play time he needs, because you have a Tyree Wilson that you drafted at number 6 or 7, wherever the hell we drafted him. He's got to get his reps. Malcolm Kuntz got to get his reps. Max Crosby doesn't come off the field, whether it's practice or game time, so he's not, I can't justify taking best player available if that best player available is a defensive end. Maybe maybe tackle, but we're stacked at tackle too. I mean, they're not all big names, but a lot of these guys can turn into Pro Bowlers. Jonah Lalu, I believe in that kid big time. Like, that kid's gonna be a freak. Then we got Adam Butler. Where are these guys gonna fit in? You can't take a guy at 6 that's not gonna produce right away. That's my opinion, right? And you don't take guys at 6 that have red flags, any red flags. To me, if you're picking in the first round, the top 10, there shouldn't be any issues with a guy. So, best player available, I don't know. It depends. Best player available for position of need. Now, I can see that. Now, if you have a left tackle there that you think is going to be the future, then you take him. But again, he's getting limited reps because you have Colton Miller, you have, Thayer Munford out there. So, to me, first round picks in the top 10, or even in the first round, they need to get the most development. And they don't get as much development if you have, your star player at that position in front of them. To me, that just doesn't make sense when you have a lot more needs. Now, we have need at corner. We have need, we could use another offensive lineman. If you could get that, guy for the future to replace DJ Glaze and move DJ Glaze to right guard, I think, we have the best offensive line in the NFL for many years to come. So I'm not key on best player available. And Spytek even mentioned, I do believe in his interview, that, he doesn't go in that philosophy, best player available, because sometimes, you get caught up, and a guy that doesn't get as many reps as he has, or doesn't get the development that he deserves, because you got a guy like a Max Crosby or a Christian Wilkins in front of him. But I don't know. I really want Jahad Campbell, like the linebacker at Alabama, bro. I take him at 6 all day. And I know you don't take linebackers, you don't take running backs, you don't take any of these guys, but come on, man. That dude is off the charts in every category. Can I join this live? Fuck. All right, man. Well, I'm going to talk till my phone dies. Shit. I don't know how long it's going to last. But if the live ends, much love as always. Raiders. I'm going to get this shit out the way now, so you don't feel like I just quit on you. But, yeah. I was trying to make it to an hour. I don't think it's going to make it that far. But pick wide receiver, running back, second round. Get a guard or a tackle in the first. I'd take Gray Zabel in the first, but I'd have to trade back, somewhere in the 15 to 20. That would be nasty, bro. Gray Zabel next to JPJ. Lights out. Lights out. You ain't getting through that shit. You are not getting through that line. I don't think we're taking wide receiver that, I don't think we're taking wide receiver that high. I really don't. I think there's, you can go back and watch my other lives. I listed the wide receivers. If you can pull off a Savion Williams, in the third or fourth round, why take any of these receivers in the first? You know, if you can get Trey Harris in the second round, why take any of these receivers in the first? Like, there's a lot of the Jalen Higgins, bro, out of Iowa. Nasty, nasty. I believe that he's up there in tier one to me. A lot of people don't have him in there, second or whatever, third tier. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. I'm drafting this kid all day. His separation, his speed, man, his wiggle, he catches everything with his hands. Nothing gets to his body. 50-50 balls, no problem. He's going to win most of those. There's a lot of receivers in this draft. I'm not taking a receiver at number one. And I wouldn't take a running back number one if it wasn't Ashton Jeanty. I'm telling you. I know I'm Marion Hampton. It's damn good. To me, he gives me Eddie George vibes. Like, I know he's not 6'3", he's 6 foot. But the way he runs, right? He's not low pad level. He runs a little high. He's got them high-stepping legs, them big, strong legs. Got that quick burst. I mean, bro. Marion Hampton, another guy. Like, Quinshon Judkins. I know there's a lot of running backs. There's a lot of receivers. But a receiver in the first or second in this draft, to me, is crazy. Like, you're going to get your outside guy, right? There's so much speed at receiver that you can get your X receiver. Like, and to me, Jacoby is a number one. You have a receiver that doesn't drop a football the whole entire season, is not a number one. Come on, man. He gets separation. He catches everything thrown his way. His catch radius is off the charts. That's a number one to me. That's a number one. And then you have Brock, who's going to play a whole lot of slot receiver. They're going to be in a lot of 12 personnel because you're going to have Michael Mayer out there, in my opinion, blocking on the line. Brock Bowers in the slot. We don't really need that number one first round draft pick receiver, or second round, or third round for that matter. I'd be happy with a receiver in the fourth or fifth. I still think we get somebody that's going to come in, compete. What's good? Appreciate you. Lacey, wide receiver out of LSU. Lawrence, my guy, what's good? Isn't he in trouble for attempted murder or some shit? Is he even eligible? Bro, I like Lacey all day. Now his off the field issue shit might hurt us, but man, I don't. If that shit's cleared up, I don't know. But from what I heard, he's got some problems that he might be in that Henry Ruggs situation, and I don't think we need another Henry Ruggs. I mean, we needed Henry Ruggs, but we didn't need the situation. So, yeah. Probably no to that, but if everything's cleared and he's good, still probably no, just because of the situation. The character issues with me, no. But there's guys, man. There's guys like there's so many receivers in this draft. It's crazy. And again, we're 30 days away. I'm out of town, so I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but maybe another week or so. I don't know, but I don't get to hang out with Mom much. She's 69, so I figure while I'm here, might as well make the best of it. But yeah, I'm going to break down some more drafts, receivers, running backs that we could get if we don't take Jeanty. Bro, all that shit's coming. I'll probably be live, what's tomorrow, Saturday? I don't know what we got going on tomorrow, but if I can be available, I'll go live because this is therapeutic to me. And fuck, it's been a long time since I've been able to come talk football and just not think about bullshit, right? So I appreciate y'all as always. We should draft Otis. What? I don't know. Is that the dude? What is this mammoth of a house dude named from Florida? Does anybody know this kid's name? Oh my God, bro. What? Take this dude right away. Dude. 400 and something pound nose tackle. Oh my goodness sakes, dude. I don't know if that's the guy you're talking about, but holy shit, man. This dude was a freak. If y'all haven't seen the tape, go watch the whatever, I don't know what it was, but the pro day. This dude was running like a 5 something, and he's over 400 pounds, bro. Over 400 pounds. The largest man. He will be the largest man in the NFL. And just for the size alone and the athleticism, bro, I would take that dude anywhere. Like, good Lord, man. I'm trying to find it, but that dude is crazy, crazy. There is no way a big man should be able to move that fast. Like, oh, it is nasty work, bro. Nasty work. Shit. But yeah, man, let me know before this shit dies. What do y'all think of the Devin White signing? You know, do you think it was a decent signing, pickup? I believe it's like a coaching move, right? I think he's going to be like a coach on the field, a coach in practice to my guy, Mari Gaynor. I hope. I really, really hope. He's kind of like that developmental piece, you know, to bring Mari Gaynor along. And if he makes the roster, great. But, man, the way he played last year, I just don't see Devin White making this roster, especially if we go get a linebacker in this draft. It's going to be rough. But, again, we have 93? Was it 93 or 94 roster holes to fill before camp with 9 picks. So, we still got some work to do. We got a lot of guys to sign. So, don't just pump the brakes. Don't trip on all these signings and be like, man, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Because a lot of them are, you know, just knowledge pieces, right? They're going to bring knowledge to these young guys. They're going to help them along. They're going to show them how to, you know, be NFL players, how to carry themselves on and off the field. And I think that's a big, big part of the NFL. And yeah, I know my eyes are squinting. It's bright out here. I'm a little stoned. Of course, I'm in Cali, Arizona, whatever. It's almost time to jump in this pool. But damn, y'all want to see this view? Ah, shit. Can I see the lake? Hold up. These big ass houses. Whee! I don't think you can see the lake. But no, you can't see the lake. Well, the lake is underneath that big ass mountain, but which I need to go do some fishing while I'm here. Head down to the Colorado River, which is still like fucking 40 something degrees. Get my ice bath in. I think that's what we're doing tomorrow. So I might go live tomorrow, show y'all the river. If y'all never been to the Colorado River, Needles, California. Shithole. 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 Lake Havasu. I think we're gonna go out to they got a club out here on the lake on the water. So I think we'll be out to that. I might go live, show y'all what's popping in there and shit for a little bit. So I might be live doing some things. Yeah, I see what you were talking about with Lacey. He does have character issues, but on the field, he's legit as shit. Like, come on. He was the number 3 guy behind Brian Thomas Jr., who I'm going to gloat right now because I told everybody that dude was going to be the best receiver in the NFL, and he was probably the best receiver coming out of the draft class. You know, for what he did with that shitty-ass Jaguars team is crazy, bro. Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, Lacey was right there. He was right there with them. And there's no questioning, you know, his football skills at all. It's just the character issues. And the character shit in Las Vegas, to me, is a no bueno. No. It doesn't mix. I lived in Vegas. Most of my troubles in my life came from being in Vegas. So, like, and shit. I'm a strong-minded person, but sometimes temptation can be a beast. So, if he could get, if he could be straight and there could be guarantees, some people grow up after they have problems, and I'm all for giving guys second chances, and he's gonna make a team. He's gonna be one of those dudes if everything pans out and he can play in the NFL. And it's something about LSU receivers. I don't have nothing to smoke to. Oh, I didn't bring shit out here. I should have brought the bong or something. Took some dabs. Damn it. But yeah, man, it's something in the water at LSU, bro. I don't know what it is when it comes to those receivers. I mean, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, like Malik Neighbors is probably gonna be legit. And now you got a decent quarterback throwing them the ball. Damn, bro, the Giants are gonna be nasty. Nav man in the building was good. So yeah, the Giants are coming up, bro. A lot of these teams are gonna be damn good. The New England Patriots, I'm gonna have to give it to Vrabel. I was one of the big dudes, the biggest content creators was saying no, do not bring in Vrabel. Damn. I really like the way they've gone, this offseason more than we have. I know we had Pete Carroll in the building, and I know it's gonna be great. It's gonna turn out good. But the eye test, if you're giving it the eye test, Mike Vrabel and the Patriots, bro. Good Lord. How much money they got over there? Who's backing this team? Like, they signed everybody, dude. They signed everybody. Patriots overspent on free agent signings, including Spillane. Coverage-wise, yes. But Spillane is going to be that dog for them. He's going to be that man in the middle. They're going to use him wisely. I don't think he's going to be in coverage a lot. They kept Ellis. We tried to get that dude. I thought he would have been a big pickup for the Raiders. There's a reason they paid him $13 million, right? They kept Ellis in the building. And again, for everybody just joining in, my phone battery is on the shits. It's about ready to die. So if it cuts off, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Hit them likes on the way out. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. All that good shit. But yeah, they overspent on a couple players, I thought that was a lot of money for Robert Spillane. If he could cover, sideline to sideline, bro, he's worth every penny. Worth every penny. But the coverage issues, I don't think that's going to be a problem in New England. I know Vrabel, how he's going to use him. He's going to have safeties coming up. They're going to probably, run that 4-2-5 or maybe a 4-3. Who knows? Depending on, they got some solid defensive linemen. They could probably run that shit there too. They have nice edge rushers now. They're going to be nasty. Him and Ellis will be badass duo, no question. They're going to be a bad duo. We should draft Charlie Gardner. Is there another Charlie Gardner? What are you talking? Come on, man. I was never a Charlie Gardner fan. I know he did damn good for the Raiders. He helped us out. I was never on that train. Never a Charlie Gardner fan. There's a lot of running backs I didn't like for the Raiders. Just because they never got the ones I wanted and they let Marcus Allen go. Just in case it does cut off, stay up, Rebel. Yeah, it will eventually, but I'm gonna run that shit till the end. I might make it. I got 6 minutes to an hour, so shout out to the iPhone. Then I'm gonna jump my ass in this pool. Oh shit, there goes the battery warning. His age is better than Zamir. Look, I'm not out on the Zamir train. I'm not out on the Zamir train yet. I know I talked shit on the dude. He was hurt all year. It was a bad system. I'm giving him a chance this year. This is last year. Last year. I'm not gonna talk shit on Zamir White. I'm gonna let it go until he fucks up. If he fumbles, then you know I'm gonna be on that shit. Like fucking flies on shit. I'm gonna be on it. But white on rice, whatever you want to call it. But I'm gonna give him a pass. I'm gonna give him a pass. The Getsy system was ass for Zamir White. We started out not knowing who our offensive lineman was, right? It bounced back and forth. We had so many different offensive linemen. You couldn't establish a running game at all. So it wasn't just him. It was Madison. It was, Amir Abdullah. No matter who we put in, they never gave the kid but one chance in Dylan Labe. So we don't know, if he could have wiggled his way through, for some yardage or made some plays. But our offensive line was horrible until like December when they started, clicking. They had the same 5 guys in there. They found their groove. They had JPJ at the center. We had Mumford and Meredith, or not Mumford, Parham and Meredith. We were rocking, right? We rocked with that offensive line. They got a little bit more solid. So I'm gonna give Zamir White this year. I'm gonna give him half the year. I think he's gonna get some carries, and I think he's gonna, show that dude still is nasty, right? For his size, his speed. If he could just hold on to the ball and not have to, just one cut go or get to the outside, he's gonna be dangerous. He's gonna be dangerous, especially if we get Ashton Jeanty, bro, and we can squeeze him in once in a while on a third down. Like, I don't know, but I'm not out on Zamir. I'm gonna give him one more year. I think we brought in a damn good back that kind of resembles him a little bit, right? Height, weight wise, speed wise. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna give him one more year. But last year was absolutely horrible. But he did have 4 back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. And people thought he was going to be the shit, right? We all believed, hey, Zamir's going to be the man. They brought in competition. But I think they did the same thing with Zamir White as they did to Aiden O'Connell. I mean, let's be honest, right? He didn't start as the starter. It was Madison. Madison is never, ever better than Zamir White. I'd take Zamir White right now over Madison any day of the week. I was never happy on the Madison pickup. I got videos to prove. No, I'm just kidding. But if you go back and watch them, it was bad. Madison was a bad pickup. We all know that. But it took away reps, like I was saying earlier. It took away reps in training camp from Zamir White to get acclimated to the new system, to the new linemen. You're splitting too many reps for that young guy. Zamir, I think Madison should have, been running his shit mostly with the second team, right? Give Zamir White those reps with the first team, and I think that's where we fail, right? We don't get to practice too many times during the season anymore. They have, 15 practices they can have with pads during the season. That's not enough to develop players. You have to develop them in the off season. And if you keep bringing in guys in front of them, these guys you drafted, you're never going to develop. Everybody keeps saying, bring in DK Metcalf or, bring Renfrow back, which I'm not opposed to bring Renfrow back. We need bodies. But you don't bring in guys, like a Metcalf or, go trade for Cooper Kupp when you got a Ramel Keaton, right, that needs development. You can't get development on a practice squad. I mean, you get very little, right? Those are practice squad guys. They're not top of the line guys. So I want to see what we have in some of these guys. We have the dude Ford or whatever, right, that we had last year. I mean, dude looked all right in the preseason. So we have some receivers that, that need to develop, and we need to see what we have in them, right? We drafted them. A lot of guys, when you draft 4th, 5th round, 6th round, UDFA, it takes 2 years, right? 2 years. So some of these guys, got some reps. They got on the field last year because, we didn't have Devontae. We didn't have a lot of receivers, right? We didn't have a quarterback, right? We didn't know who the hell was at any position last year. So I think we still have some receivers in the building that, you know, gonna be that are, you know, Christian Wilkinson. I mean, we have some guys. So development. Renfrow at a minimum will be our quarterbacks. Will be what? I should probably put on my glasses so I can see. Damn. Oh, that helps. Will be the great presence in the wide receiver room. Can't put a price tag on knowing what a Raider is. I mean, absolutely, bro. Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm like I said, I'm signing Hunter to whatever he wants, right? I mean, he's not gonna want no crazy money. He just wants to play ball. The dude is a baller. That's his shit. He wants to play football. He wants to be on the field. He's like I said, friends with Christian Wilkins. You know, he's going to bat for him. I think, you know, he's gonna hit it off. I think with Chip Kelly, with Pete Carroll. So look for him to be signed, in my opinion. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't, right? We need somebody to help develop these young slot receivers. He would be a great developmental piece for Trey Tucker, like we just, you know, talked about, having veteran guys to develop these guys, show them how to be football players, you know, show them fucking how to not catch the ball with their hands or dive for every pass like Trey Tucker does. Shit like that, you know. You can't teach guys not to be fearless. Ow, something just bit the fuck out of me. Son of a bitch. Ow. Damn it. That shit left a welt. Fuck. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, you know, Hunter's going to be a damn good developmental piece. And, you know, that classy guy in the building to help these guys development. Like, especially our slot receivers. Like, he can definitely help Trey Tucker's route running, which couldn't hurt. Even, like I said, Ramel Keaton, another way bigger guy. But we have some big receivers that, like I said, just need to get on the grass. And if we keep bringing in these guys above them, ow, their burn gets less and less. Not like this burn on my flipping leg. What the fuck bit me, bro? Good Lord. It was a lot lizard that bit you. I don't know, but that shit hurt like hell. Dude, it's like a flipping circle, and I'm not allergic to shit. I don't know what the hell. Best chin. What? Best chin? Worst? We didn't. Oh yeah, Chin was our best pickup. I don't think Becton was a bad. Was it bad? Look, if they didn't pay Becton the money that he got, there's a reason for it, right? I don't really see, in my opinion, you know, Mekhi Becton being much better than a DJ Glaze. He has a little bit more experience. But I see DJ Glaze developing into a way better player than him. Just my opinion. You know, Mumford is another, you know, big guy that held his own left and right side on the line. So I don't think it was a loss. I don't think it was a loss. If you look at the money wise, you know, that would have put us down to 15 mil or some shit. What'd he get? 20 a year? That would have put a big damper on us. So, you know, I think we needed to build the line, but there's a reason they're not, right? I think Joe Philbin in the house, you know, sees something in this offensive line. I think the offensive line sees something in themselves, right? The continuity they're building, the chemistry they're building. You're just going to get better and better and better, right? Yeah, I don't know what the hell it was, but that shit hurt. So, and again, back to development. If we would have brought in a Mekhi Becton, what does that do for Jordan Meredith or Parham or wherever they put him? You know, but maybe they put him on the outside, but, you know, I don't know why they would. He's a guard, but, you know, what does that do for the development of Parham and Meredith, right? That's less reps they get in the offseason. Like I said, you only get 15 padded practices. So your development has to come in the offseason. And you shouldn't be developing guys that are veterans, in my opinion, with the way the NFL is structured now. Like, these guys should be on the field in the preseason, in the offseason, taking first team reps, right? They're quarterbacks, running backs, all these guys. So hopefully they'll do that shit, and these guys can develop. And I would have, Becton would have been great. I think it would have been solidified this offensive line, but for the price that we would have had to pay, I just don't think it was worth it. Which starting position do you feel we need more talent? Running back, wide receiver, linebacker, or free safety? Chin's got safeties. We're good on safeties. I don't know why everybody's tripping on the safety room. But I want Eamon Worry. Fucking absolutely, bro. Absolutely. But I think with, signing Chin, he's out the door. I don't see us drafting a safety. I don't see us, not in the big rounds, maybe 4th, 5th, maybe somewhere in there. 6th, we have 3 6th-round picks. I could see us reaching somewhere in there for safeties. I think corner is the biggest question. Last year, we had Faisant, we had veterans in the room, right, to kind of bring these guys along. Obviously they got cut, didn't make it. Jacorian Bennett coming off the injury, his jump from his rookie year to a sophomore year. Son of a bitch, that fucking son, shit, don't touch it. His development from his rookie year to a sophomore year, I thought was insane. And he only got to play half a season, right? He got hurt, so he's going to be back strong. Hopefully, he continues the upward trajectory that he was rocking with. But then you have Jack Jones, man. I don't think Jack Jones is a number 1 or a number 2 receiver. Like, I don't know. I don't have faith in what he did last year. Now, can he develop better with the coaches we have, with the coaching staff we have, with the Pete Carroll? Hopefully, right? Hopefully he cleans up some of that shit. But 128 QBR against is not going to cut it in the NFL. So I would like to see us get a young corner, if maybe 2nd round, because we keep drafting these guys in the 3rd and 4th. DeCamerion Richardson, I think he's going to be take a huge leap. I really, really do. Like, he got burned a lot in coverage, but he was also, a young rookie taken in the 4th round, 3rd round, whatever. You don't expect that dude to come in and start right away. And he had to, right? He had to, because of the problems we had. Bringing in a guy that we should have never brought in. We have MJ. Do we still have MJ Davishire? We got MJ Davishire. Man, we got Trey Taylor at safety. I think we're good at safety. We got Paul Mao. We got Trey Taylor. We got Chin, who's taking the, he's going to be the starter. That he's not going nowhere. I think we're good at safety. It has to be linebacker to me. Linebacker. We have Devin White coming off a shit year. We don't know what we have in Tommy Eichenberg yet. Didn't get any burn. It's fucking light. So we don't know what we got there. Amari Gaynor. We don't know if they're going to put him at defensive end, if they're going to put him at Mike linebacker, if they're going to put him at outside. To me, I think he could play Mike. He proved in the preseason against the 49ers, a damn good team, a Super Bowl team, 49ers. He could play Mike, and he did a damn good job. So it's linebacker and running back. I mean, I don't think Moset is going to be the starter. He's not a starter. He's more of a, relief guy, get a guy a breather, certain plays, maybe 3rd downs. I just don't see him being the starter. He had one good year. Yes, he had 21 touchdowns. Yes, he had over 1,000 yards. Yes, that's insane. but it's one time, one time in the NFL. Do I want him to do it again? Hell yeah. So, running back, and linebacker. Um, what's the other guy we drafted? Eric Stokes. I think Eric Stokes is going to be our starting corner. You heard it here first. He's taking Jack Jones's job. I think Eric Stokes has new life, has a new team. You know, former first-round pick, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. This dude's coming to compete, bro. He's coming to compete, lights out, and I think there's going to be a battle at that spot. Definitely going to be a battle. And if he doesn't take, you know, the number 2 corner spot, he's definitely got that the slot receiver spot. So another guy that I'm really big on, Eric Stokes, I think is going to surprise some people. He's definitely going to surprise some people. So I think we're good there. You know, offensive line, I definitely want to see us draft some, you know, have we got rid of Whitehair yet? Is he still on the team? And other dude, man, I got to look at the roster. I've been behind, like I said. I've been so much with family and shit. But if we still have Pete and Cody Whitehair, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? So get rid of those guys. Bring in, you know, offensive linemen. If there's somebody that they want in the first round, I'm not mad at that, right? We're building for the future, and if they believe somebody's going to come in and start right away, if they take them in the first round, take them. But I don't know. With 9 picks, I think we could fill pretty much every need we have. I don't see the needs being as big as people think with the coaching staff we have. Now, last year, the needs were probably a little bit more because, you know, we had an inexperienced coach and nobody knew what was going on. Nobody really liked Getsy. He was the 3rd or 4th pick on, pick on the option. This year, I believe we have the guys in the building to develop these guys, to put them in the position, you know, to make plays, to get on the field, to get on the grass. And shit, if that happens, bro, I think we're good. Rebel, can Riley Leonard beat out AOC 12 for a backup position on our team? It depends. I mean, I have to say yeah, for one reason, maybe 2. His mobility, man. His mobility. Obviously, we went and got Geno Smith. Geno Smith is a mobile quarterback who can make plays with his legs. He can beat you, you know, with his feet, with his arm, with his mind. I believe Riley Leonard could do the same thing. Aiden O'Connell, he's a statue. I mean, not a statue, but he's a pocket passer, right? He's going to beat you with his mind. He's going to beat you pre-snap. He's way more decisive. Riley Leonard does not have the arm that Aiden O'Connell has. Riley Leonard does not have the decisiveness, the pre-snap reads, the timing, the accuracy, none of that. He's not a better passer at all than Riley Leonard. What Riley Leonard can give you is he can stretch the field, right? You have to put a spy on him because you never know when he's going to run. He can take off and give you, you know, 20, 30, 40 yards on any play. So with that aspect, I mean, yeah, but his intelligence, football intelligence, no, that's Aiden O'Connell's job, bro. Aiden O'Connell's going to be the backup. And shit, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bigger competition than we think for the starting job. Just because of his accuracy, his pre-snap reads. He doesn't turn the ball over like Geno Smith. You know, stats don't lie, bro. Stats don't lie. He didn't even get sacked as much as Geno Smith. So, you know, Riley Leonard would be a hell of a pickup. And I've seen a couple of mock drafts with Riley Leonard going to the Raiders, which, bro, I'd be stoked. We'd have 3 damn good quarterbacks, and our quarterback room would have to be, you know, within the top 15 to 20. I mean, you got to put us in there. Definitely ain't 32nd, right? Damn, this phone battery lasted way longer than I thought. Cool. Signed Devin White from the Bucks to a 1-year player. Yeah, Devin White, you know, if he can get back to that Pro Bowl caliber player, I think will be a damn good pickup. He's definitely a way better tackler than Divine Diablo. Now, he doesn't have the speed, but he has, you know, the intelligence, the awareness, all that shit. I think he'd be one of those, you know, key pieces, right? You got to have packages in the NFL. You can't have the same 2 linebackers in every package, right? You're not always going to run a 4-2-5. You know, you might mix it up and run shit. You know, 5 defensive linemen. You know, there's going to be a lot of shit. There's going to be dime packages, nickel packages, third down packages, run packages, first down packages. There's a package for everything in the NFL, and you can't have the same linebacker in every package because they don't all, you know, do the same thing well. Gee, this light is killing me, bro. Hold up. You know, some guys do things better than others, so yeah, my phone's gonna die. But I'll be back on again tomorrow. Like I said, hit them notifications. I appreciate y'all pulling up and rocking with me. If I can read this last question. Rebel, who is our slot QB instead of Hobbs? In my opinion, like I said, it depends. If Eric Stokes beats out, you know, if he beats out Jack Jones, look for Jack Jones to be cut. In my opinion, so I think they might draft one of those guys, you know, that's going to compete. But I'm not mad if it's D Cam with his size, his speed. Shit, I wouldn't be mad at that. But it's either D Cam or Eric Stokes is going to be that guy. You know, I don't see him moving Jack Jones to that position. I just don't think he's fast enough to cover in that shit. But yeah, so Raiders for the 100th time, just win, baby. Peace, much love.